Welcome to the Create, Connect, Convert.co podcast, where big dreams and bold moves come to life. If you are an innovative, legacy-driven female business owner or entrepreneur who's here to grow, glow, and get it done, this podcast is for you. This isn't just another business podcast. Oh no. Here we've got 4 powerhouse women, each bringing a unique flavor of expertise to help you sharpen your brand, build profits, and bring that much desired freedom to your life. It's like having 4 mentors in your pocket. We're here to laugh, to get real, and to remind you that business is meant to be fulfilling, fun, and full of possibilities. So wherever you are today, grab this moment and fuel your creativity, because Create, Connect, Convert.co is here to help you build the business and a life you've been working for. Welcome to episode 1 of Create, Connect, Convert.co. We are excited to be here with you, and I am your host for today, Laura Templeton from 30-Second Success. Yes, I am one of the co-creators of Create, Connect, Convert, and I'm excited to share my co-host with you today. We're going to share a little bit about us, what Create, Connect, Convert is about, and who it's for. So buckle up, get ready to jump in and experience what we have in store for you here on episode 1 of Create, Connect, Convert.co. So, ladies, it is so fun to be here. I am excited about this collaboration that we've really been working on for quite a while now. And when Regina suggested doing a podcast, I think all of us were like, yeah, let's do it, right? So I'm excited about today. I'm going to share a little bit about me. I'm Laura Templeton, 30-Second Success, founder, speaker, and brand communication strategist who absolutely loves to embrace the power of AI for improving your brand communications, getting your time back. So that's who I am, just in a nutshell. We're going to share a little bit more about each of us here, and I'm going to be delighted to introduce some of my favorite people in the world to you. First off, we have Regina Garay. Regina, can you share a little bit about you, your business, and your background?
Yes, absolutely. And by the way, I love the idea of starting the podcast, because all 4 of us, when we talk, we're just like, well, it's so fun and informative for each other. So I thought it would be great for some other like small businesses to listen to. All right, my name is Regina Garay. The name of my business is Right Brain Loves Left. I am a digital marketing educator and manager for the interior design and construction industries. And what basically that means is that I help you manage your marketing, either by doing it for you or by teaching you how to do it. I'm also huge on goal achievement, so I'd like to help people work through their goals. I have a mastermind group called Goal Minds that helps people, creative businesses, small business owners do that. And that's it in a nutshell. I love what I do, and I love sharing it with others. And yeah, yes, Laura, you guys are some of my favorite people too. I was like, yes, Laura, that's exactly. I love it. So that's me in a nutshell.
Awesome. Well, we get to hang out together like often. So it's so much fun being able to spend time together and just brainstorm some of these ideas that we love to share. So my next person that I love to introduce is Christy Crippen, and she is just somebody who's been in my life for a long time. We're going to get to how we all met soon, but for now, I'm going to ask Christy to introduce herself, a little bit about her business, and who she helps.
Laura. Hello, everyone. We're so happy to have you here with us listening in. I'm Christy Crippen. I'm the founder of Collaborative Partners Administrative Services. I am a virtual administrator, and I partner with overwhelmed, heart-centered entrepreneurs and small business owners and solopreneurs to take them from feeling overwhelmed to overjoyed in their business. I saw a need in the market for business owners to have that support on their terms in their own unique way. So whether it's help with productivity, it could be habits, adding more structure to your day and making sure that your schedule sings from start to finish. It could be accountability. Organization is another area where I specialize. So organizing files, but also organizing your thoughts too. Are you thinking clearly and cohesively throughout your day? I just wake up every day with a full heart, being able to be of service to my amazing clients. And I love what I do, and I love all of you, and I'm thrilled to be here. And I so appreciate each and every one of you, truly.
I love you. You're amazing. I love what you do and how you serve your audience. It's so beautiful to experience that with you. So Carolyn, it's never last, never last, the whole idea behind that is I love sharing your brilliance with the world and you know it. So I would love for you to share with us what's happening in your world, what you're working on now, and who you love to serve.
Hey there, I'm Carolyn Choate, and my website is financiallyfreeauthor.com. I started out my career as a novelist, and I just started kind of setting up passive streams of income with my books, and I didn't realize that this did not come naturally to everyone. To me, it was just like, oh yeah, okay, I'm gonna put this cute little machine on this website, and I'm gonna do this over here, and like 20 years later my books still make passive income, and I love teaching other people how to build these little funnels that are a gift to your audience. They don't have to be an aggressive, pushy, bro markety kind of funnel. They can be a way to connect people that need what you do. And I love to meet new entrepreneurs and find out about businesses that I've never heard of before and listen about like, oh, who do you serve and what do you want them to do and how can we get them to your digital doorstep? And it's such a rush. I love it.
I can't wait for you to start sharing some of the things that you're working on right now. So I'm excited about Traffic School and sharing that with your audience and our audience here. And I know you've got some great things in the works right now, Carolyn, and I'm excited about that. And I'm excited for you to share that with our audience as we go along here. So I'm going to ask a couple quick questions, a little bit more about you, and we're going to dive into the vision behind Create, Connect, Convert. But first, I would love to ask, Regina, can you share a little bit about your entrepreneurial background and the journey that brought you to where you are now?
Yeah, so I was in corporate world, the music industry, but still the corporate end of it. And I saw a book one day. It's called The Complete Book of Paint by David Carter. And it blew my mind, changed my life because I thought there's an artist in me. And in my family, there's a strong line of entrepreneurship, of art and music. So I saw it. I wanted to be a decorative artist. And I literally made goals to change from where I was in corporate to become an artist. And so I did launch a decorative painting company. My brother came on board later and we ran it for several years, really successful. We worked on hotels and airports and just properties around the country. And so what happened was that, the financials shifted and in between everything, I started a blog. This was back in 2007. I started a blog talking about decorative painting, and that jump started everything. So when the financial shifted and our business wasn't getting properties because the real estate industry was in flux, we shifted to digital marketing because we were doing digital marketing for our blog, and product lines kept saying, hey, can you do what you're doing for your blog for us? And I said, absolutely. And so that's how I started my digital marketing career. I remember going to my first blog conference in 2007, and they were like, forget MySpace, jump on this thing called Facebook. Twitter will one day become as important as the phone. And I was literally writing it down in my notebook, like Twitter, and I was the only one there with pen and paper. Everybody else had a laptop with them or some sort. And I was like, oh my gosh. And it just became a love affair. And so that's how I started. That's how this business segued. My brother has since gone back to having his own decorative painting company. He loves it. And I have continued on this path of digital marketing and education because I'm a small business and I love fellow small businesses. And I would love them to have the tools to make marketing work for them. that is a goal of mine. And you guys know how I feel about goals. So hopefully that wasn't too long of a
Not at all. Not at all.
2007, such a
Beautiful.
good time for blogs. That was
Yes.
the
Yeah.
heyday.
that was the heyday.
Yes.
I started my little
Heyday for blogs.
WordPress thing. It was awesome. It was called Philology. I loved it.
Yeah. So one of the things that I think is so important for our audience to understand, we've all come from different backgrounds, right? Most small business owners and entrepreneurs didn't start out as small business owners and entrepreneurs. We've got a of education behind us. That experience really lends and builds and feeds into what we're building today. And I think it's so beautiful to see the different backgrounds. And as we go and as we journey along, one of the things that I think will be really beautiful is for each of us to share how those, the different aspects of our lives and helped us get to where we are today. And I think that's one of the things that we want to encourage in our audience as well. So thank you for sharing your story, Regina. I think that is beautiful how you showed the transition and the inspiration behind it as well. So
I didn't know
and
that
it's
about the book. That's so fascinating that a book changed your
yeah,
life.
It
yeah,
really
yeah.
right
Books will do
there.
that.
It's right there. I still have it.
I love
Books
that.
will do that. So I want to jump into our next topic and really share with our audience the vision and purpose behind Create, Connect, Convert at .co. Got to make sure the .co is in there, right? It's all about branding. Make sure that that's there. But one of the things that I want people to understand that this podcast was really designed for forward-thinking women entrepreneurs, business owners who are ready to simplify their business processes, gain confidence in their branding and marketing strategies, and increase their impact and profits without sacrificing time and authenticity. We want to be able to give them the tools to be able to improve their daily activities so that they can be more efficient in the work that they're doing and enjoy it more thoroughly, right? Sometimes I don't know about you, but I run into small business owners who are just frustrated with the technology, with the challenges, with the sales, with I have to be everything to everyone, and yet there's just not enough time in the day. So we've discovered some great tools that we want to be able to share with our audience. But more importantly, I think we want to give them the support that they're looking for to be able to understand more deeply how branding matters, how marketing matters, how, having good copy makes a difference. Having a great funnel page can change how you're connecting with your audience. And those are some of the things that we're going to be sharing with them. So whether you're a coach, consultant, or creative professional, this podcast is your go-to resource for actionable insights and expert advice. And that's what we want our audience to really understand, that that's what we're here for. We're going to give you advice. We're going to, sometimes we can even go into a show and tell if you're watching a video, you never know what we might just bring up because it's just how we are. Like, show you this. And all of a sudden we're off, showing something. It's not easy to see it when you're just listening to the podcast, but we'll do a really good job of trying to explain things so you can visualize it in your mind. Okay. So one of the things that I also want to kind of jump in here is just with a question for today. Christy, why do you think there's a need for this podcast in today's entrepreneurial landscape? I know this is a great question that we've all talked about, but why do you think there's a need for this particular podcast and what's going on for today's entrepreneur?
I think that people, when they go into entrepreneurship, there is such a wide range of emotions that we feel. And certainly excitement, curiosity, how is it going to evolve and who are we going to become? But I think that there's also that fear, because we don't know what we don't know. And we feel like a babe in the woods, and we feel, no matter where we are in life's journey, no matter how much experience we've had throughout the course of our lives, whether it's personal or professional, when we are starting off as an entrepreneur, it can be very scary because all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, I'm stepping into this whole big thing. And who do I call? And especially if you have been, say that you were in the corporate world, or if you were working at a small business, you had people you could go to for help to say, like there's your IT person if you're having trouble with your computer, your laptop. You probably had a marketing department. Now you have to wear all those hats, and you think, oh my word, how do I know what to do next? And so I think that for me, it's us being those friendly voices for you to listen to or watch, and to be able to learn and to feel less alone. It's not just the learning component, but it's also the sense of community that we bring to business owners. That for me, that's what's in my heart.
It's beautiful. I love that you mentioned, the sense of community, right? Having that sense of community, the sense of belonging, the sense that other people understand what you're going through and want to help you through it. And that's definitely the power that we're creating here in Create, Connect, Convert Co. And I think that's one of the beautiful things that we've been able to culminate in our relationships. And I think being able to share that in how we support one another and how we grow together and allowing people into that sense of belonging is so important. So thank you for sharing that, Christy. I really appreciate that perspective. So Carolyn, how do you envision this podcast helping our listeners create growth in their own businesses, right? And in their lives? How do you see this really helping them create that?
There's something about the energy of bringing people together. It's kind of like the whole is bigger than the sum of its parts. And we've all experienced being together for years now, hanging out, chatting, talking about our business challenges and wins and goals, that the difference in our perspectives and experience just build off each other and feed off each other. And that was why I think Regina said, like, we got to start recording this, because it's not just us who can benefit from our trading ideas and getting excited and saying, oh, we should try this and maybe this will work better. And I think that's an uplifting energy. It's not just learning like exact things, but it's also just feeling that spirit and knowing that you're among a community of other women who are out there doing the thing. Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
true.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You're absolutely right. And the growth comes, right, from being surrounded with people who experienced a lot of the things that other people are struggling with. I think there's a little bit of mentorship involved in it as well, which I think is a beautiful gift that we can give to our listeners, right? The mentorship side of business, that you're in business, but you're not alone. And there's that, again, it's coming back to that sense of community, which is so beautiful. And so Regina, and you're my goal girl, we talk about goals, right? So what's the meaning behind Create, Connect, Convert, and how does it reflect our goals as a collective group?
So the reason we came up with Create, Connect, Convert was very strategic, and it's actually the right, you know, way to go about it. You create something, whether it's a business, a campaign, an idea, then you connect, create, connect, convert, create. So then you connect it, whether you connect with other people to collaborate, whether you connect the tools together to make that idea happen or that business flow. And then, of course, it's all about that third, because the first two are fantastic and probably what most small business owners enjoy is the creating and the connecting. But it also has to convert, meaning it has to make a profit for you. There has to be something that sustains that business. So that is a very important third component. For us, the beauty of it is that we each have different strengths. We all love to create. We all love to connect, of course. Look at us together. And we all love the idea of converting and ideas for converting. So our goals for that was to not only share that with each other, but also share that with the female small business owners who are part of our community, who listen to this podcast, who attend our events. So that was the whole idea and the whole microcosm of Create, Connect, Convert.co. In my mind,
Beautiful.
you all can jump in and
Yeah. No, you said it beautifully. Thank you so much. And I think there's so much power behind the whole message of just the name alone, create, connect, convert.co. Because even the .co in my mind stands for community and connection, right? So I think that's it, the .co is so important in our brand because it really is about bringing people together. And I think there's a huge sense in being able to communicate that well. And even the converting side, there's so many different things that the conversion can be about profit. It can be about converting, into a growth mindset. It can, that
Yes.
there's so many gifts in those words, right? And I think that's what we're going to be able to unwrap and explore together. So I'm going to move on to our next topic, and it's really about setting expectations for the podcast tone and content and takeaways, right? I want people to understand what they can expect here on Create, Connect, Convert.co. So, Regina, can you jump back in here and share a little bit about what types of topics and themes that what you're most excited about to dive into in future episodes?
So we have our own strengths, as I mentioned before. And so when we all talk, this was one of the things that was like an inspiration. When we all talk, we all share our expertise with each other, but we're also always asking questions like, wait, I've never heard about that. What is that? And so when we put this podcast together, we actually created it in themes according to our expertise. And then we're each going to kind of host our own expertise, our own weeks of topics. And so that is a little bit about what you can expect. So it's kind of like a well-rounded run of business, of different facets of business. That's what I love about this podcast is that some podcasts have one host and one topic. In ours, we kind of have a little bit of everything so that if you listen to the podcast, you're going to get different nuggets of information on different aspects of your business.
Oh, beautiful. Absolutely. And I love the fact that we're bringing all of our strengths together and yet we're exploring them in a way that it's like, wow, I didn't know that. Let's dive into that a little bit deeper. So you're going to get a little bit more depth of questions that somebody might be talking about funnels and somebody goes, okay, what's a funnel? Right. That's why we have Carolyn here. It really makes a difference because I will tell you, we've had deep conversations, even just around funnels, right? Because a lot of people think of a funnel as a one pager. Other people think of it as a whole website, right? So there's different aspects there, and to explore them together and just it makes logical sense in our minds when we start to really dive into the detail and expand on what we share. So I think that's such a beautiful opportunity for us to ask some of the questions that you may even be challenged with and help to expand your knowledge and also support you in that growth and some of the other things that we're going to be offering throughout the year. And I'm excited about some of the other things that we have planned to share with you between events and opportunities to come and hang out with us. So I can't wait to share those things. But I have a few more questions and then we're going to wrap up. So, Christy, how will we approach challenges our audience members face, and what solutions can they expect from us?
Mm. Our group, this beautiful community that the four of us have created amongst each other. One of the things that I love so much about the four of us is that we have created this space where we can just be open and share openly and vulnerably and we help problem solve and we help troubleshoot and we help really dig into the thing, whatever the thing is. And so with this extension of what we're doing now and creating this podcast, it's I feel like it's our conversations, but now they're going to be broadcast out into the world. And we can look at, okay, what are common things that entrepreneurs are struggling with every single day? We can talk about those. We can look at unique things that are unique to each one of us, and how did we overcome it? Because I guarantee you that there will be people out there listening who will say, oh, that's me too. I just went through that. So now you ladies have given me a foundation, a blueprint, if you will, for how I can navigate through what I'm going through. And it's about us listening and building, just building layer upon layer upon layer. I think, and then it gets richer. To me, it feels like if you're in the kitchen and you're creating, I don't know, like a gumbo or some sort of something in a pot, and you keep adding ingredients to it, and then you let it simmer and you go back and you stir it. And then how do all those flavors meld together? And that's how I view all of us, all of our energies and our spirits, and how we've all melded together. And that's going to translate out into the world. And then for the challenges, it can feel like if you have a cat and then the cat comes along and gets into your yarn basket, and then now the yarn is all tangled up. And that's how our lives can feel for us as business owners. It feels like not city, and we're the mayor and the whole city council, doesn't it? It feels like I don't know how to make sense of any of this, and I have deadlines and I have problems. And so we can sit here and just untangle the knots one knot at a time. And we
Kristen has
can.
the very best similes and metaphors. You can come to expect that.
I love it.
Thank you, Carolyn. Thank you. I just get these visual images in my head as I'm talking about something, and then they just kind of, I just kind of blurt them out. But thank you, Carolyn.
Yes.
So for me, that's what I feel our listeners can look forward to, is how do we come together in this unified way and dive in and dive deep.
Beautiful. Beautiful. I love that. And that's a beautiful way to wrap things up. One last question that I want to ask each one of you, and it's just a very, very simple question. And I know you haven't been prepared for this one, but what's one key takeaway you want every listener to gain from being a part of this podcast community? Carolyn, can you answer that question?
Key takeaway from being part of this community: that there's always a solution. No matter what the problem is, we will find the solution, and it's out there. Nothing is impossible.
Beautiful. Christy, how about you? Do you have a key takeaway you want our podcast community to have?
I would love for our amazing community to, every time they listen in, that they feel like their soul has come home again. That it's, oh, what are the ladies going to talk about this week? What ideas could be sparked within me because of what they said? What challenges can I overcome because of what they shared with me? So that for me is, I want them to have that warm feeling deep within every time they listen.
Beautiful. Regina, how about you? What key takeaway do you want our listeners to gain?
I would like our listeners to gain the sense that yes, they can achieve their goals, even if they're not moving as fast as they'd like to be moving. That is so key,
Beautiful.
because we can beat ourselves up on that. But if you're just moving forward, just moving forward, just moving forward, and you have a supportive community behind you, you can achieve your goals.
Beautiful. 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 Ladies, this was absolutely lovely. My key takeaway that I want our audience to really deeply and emotionally understand and embrace is that you are not alone. Okay, that's the biggest thing. When you are in business, you are not alone. There is a community out there for you. There are people who understand you, that have the answers. And if they don't have the answers, they will know the people who do have them. So community is huge, and really making those vital connections to have the people around you that can support you, lift you up, and help move you forward in life and in business makes all the difference when it comes to being a small business owner, entrepreneur, creative soul. We hear you. We want to support you. So glad that you are here with createconnectconvert.co. Looking forward to supporting you for years to come with this amazing podcast. Again, createconnectconvert.co is here for you. We are looking forward to inspiring you and helping you move forward in your business, and grow together. And that's a wrap for today's episode of Create, Connect, Convert.co. We hope you're feeling inspired, empowered, and ready to make your next bold move. Remember, the journey doesn't end here. Head over to createconnectconvert.co to download our latest resources, sign up for our upcoming events, or hop on the wait list for our exclusive mastermind community. There's a seat at the table waiting just for you. Thank you for tuning in, and be sure to click like and subscribe. We'll see you back here next week to dive into another game-changing conversation. And here's a little something to carry you until then. Keep creating, keep connecting, and never stop converting your dreams into reality.